Oh, right there, I got bit, right there on the surface. Oh, yellow. Look at this yellow. Right here. That's why you use a metal jig. You get them really quick. Quick and easy. Beautiful fish. All right, we're gonna take a little break from this action. When we return, I'll be giving you this week's tip of the week.
This week's tip of the week is brought to you by Magic Metal Jigs and Bucktail Jigs.
For this week's tip of the week, I want to talk to you a little bit about what happened today. We're out here offshore fishing on Dolphin 2, and we had really small baits. And because we had such small baits, you had to really downsize your hook selection. You know, we're able to fish the heavier lines, the 30-pound test lines, but the hooks had to be really small because of the bait. And you can see here, this week's tip is when you come fishing offshore, even local fishing, you want to have a good selection of hooks. And because we're offshore, I have everything from large tuna hooks. I can also use this for marlin fishing, all the way down to the smallest hooks. A size 2 hook is what I carry, and that's what we ended up using today. Now, if I was fishing at the islands, I'd have even smaller hooks, but out here 80 miles from home, you know, number 2 hook is probably what I thought would be the smallest hook I could possibly use, and that's what I ended up catching a bunch of fish on today. So that's this week's tip. You know, you don't know what's going to happen on the water, so have a good selection of hooks, different styles, either circle hooks and J hooks, and different colors, and that's what we have here. That's this week's tip. Well, next week we're going to be back here aboard the Dolphin 2 for part 2 of this exciting episode. We're having phenomenal fishing today aboard the Dolphin 2. Next week we'll be right back here to show you more of it. I'd like to thank Skipper Greg and the whole crew of the Dolphin 2. I'm Dan Hernandez, inviting you to join me next week right here for part 2 of our episodes here aboard the Dolphin 2. I'll see you then.